Yeah. I mean, it'll be
because there's no announcement.
No. I think we have to say.
Look, it's just gone 2:45, so just a quick word for any early bird online listeners. This is Rob Worrell at the EBB. We have a game on this afternoon. Thank goodness for so many reasons, not least, of course, the return of the Strays. Now, of our regular listeners from Saudi, from USA, from Tenerife, from Ireland, etc., a lot of them are actually here today. Let us know where you are listening from. If you're a Stray that is listening today and can't be here, maybe the date didn't suit, maybe the funds didn't allow it, doesn't really matter what the reason, but let us know, and we'll give you a shout out. Here's John Ross, one of the Strays, and his good friend. Thank you. Just talking about it on air, the return of the Strays. The Belfast Brigade has arrived. Good to see you, John, and I hope they have a bit more luck than they usually do when you come over, mate. All the best. Take care. Cheers. Some of the stray shots, of course, Aldershot supporters that don't live in Aldershot anymore. That was John Ross from Belfast, who freakishly I knew prior to knowing he was an Aldershot Town fan, because we both worked for the same company and played in the same works football team, the national DHL UK team. Incredible coincidence that I was on that trip and met someone else who supported Aldershot who came from Ireland, Steve Gibbs.
It's the global nature of this otherwise small football club. It's not small in the hearts of many people who have spread far and wide across the world, and not Saudi and Florida and whoever else. There are Shots fans pretty much everywhere around the world, and I've said so many times, the town of Aldershot is known for two things: the home of the British Army and its football club. And we hope that in the not too distant future the football club will restore itself to global consciousness. It's never strayed that far.
No.
But
excuse the pun.
No, entirely deliberate. But yeah, it's probably fallen a little bit off some people's radar because they're not part of the 92. But through a cup draw, maybe an FA Trophy run, or promotion, this club is a proud club, and whatever happens to it on the pitch will always remain a big part of people's lives wherever that life may take them.
And another one of those Strays I've just waved to, standing in the north stand over to the right of the media box. Nearly every week I'm saying hello to Colin Hayden in Tenerife, and he's stood just 15-20 yards away, and I don't know, there's a feeling in the air, Steve, that collective support coming from all around the world, and actually being here today, the relief of getting a game going on a pitch where they've obviously got continuing drainage problems, and the sun now breaking through in the minutes before the kickoff. I don't know, let's just hope that from a red and blue point of view these are positive omens for today.
Absolutely, yeah, and they need to be. You've got, on the face of it, a finely poised gaming prospect, and if I say these things, some people might get the wrong end of the stick. One team, frustrated fans, lack of progress, perceived lack of ambition, fans starting to lose faith, hope maybe replaced by anger, poor form, just 1 win in 8, struggling to find a balance between attack and defence, and ultimately just falling between two stools with too many draws. And Aldershot Town are playing as well.
Yeah, that's just Hartlepool, isn't it?
Hartlepool, yeah.
But the point is, you could apply all of that to both teams.
Exactly, yeah. That was my rather laborious point. And yeah, both teams do draw too many games, but for the Shots this afternoon, you have to say for both teams, for their respective ambitions, a point this afternoon is not really good enough for either team. They need the win that might finally kickstart their season, and particularly Aldershot Town, as they go into a crucial run of fixtures, playing Saturday, Tuesday until the 1st of April, and who knows beyond that, if FA Trophy games or other games get called off, necessitate further fixture changes. Yeah, I've said it most home games recently. 3 points is a non-negotiable must for the Shots this afternoon. And yes, it might seem a shock given the respective league tables, with Hartlepool in the top 10, Aldershot Town in the bottom. But if they want to re-establish Fortress Ebb Stadium, and move away from the bottom four, then you need a strong, dynamic, positive home performance. All of the things that Tommy Widrington calls for in his program notes this afternoon, to be too positive to be defeated. That's not happened often enough for the team so far this. They've only won 6 games at home all season, or 6 games all season, 3 of which came in the first month of that season. Since then, there are any number of stats I could bore you with, and if the game is not living up to expectations, then I might. But Aldershot Town need to turn the positivities. They need to turn the draws, the hard-won points, into 3, and they need to do that starting this afternoon and more consistently throughout the rest of the season.
They certainly do. There's a couple more of our strays. David Miles from Saudi, and Gina and Nick. And hiya, you alright? Just coming down. They've all got family here that have got mascots. They've got 3 children amongst them that are club mascots.
I was going to say, Gina's too frequent a visitor to the Ebb to be a real stray, surely. I know she lives up north, but she makes far more of an effort to get here than I think I do. Yeah,
absolutely. If you stand there any longer, Gina, we're going to interview you. She's gone.
She's
right. Okay, that's it, Gina Bullston. I'm sure there will be many strays listening today that, for whatever reason, it wasn't something they could do to get here. And listen, it's a fabulous effort from those that did. And enjoy the game as you normally would if it can't be your time to come back to the EBB, but you're in our thoughts and in our hearts as well this afternoon. Let's talk about the pitch, Steve. I don't think there's a lot to talk about. Clearly there's an ongoing drainage issue. They thought they'd resolved it. Clearly they haven't completely. One area of the pitch is a bit sandier and a bit boggier than the rest, but it's more than playable. Yeah. And I don't really see it having a massive effect on the game, although that obviously will, the proof of the pudding will be in the bubbles and all the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think huge credit to the Shots ground staff. Chris Watts is still tending that area of the pitch, and him and his colleagues who turn up and they put in the hours, put in the hard yards when no one's looking and when no one's watching and when no one is thinking about what the pitch might look like come afternoon. They're the people that have got this pitch playable. And Chris was saying just now, the referee came in this morning. There was torrential rain in the area overnight, but the referee came in this morning, looked at the pitch and went, yep, I'm happy, let's play. And that, it seems, the consensus seems to be that's a slightly different attitude to the previous referees that affected the pitch in recent weeks when the game hasn't gone ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not saying that the pitch isn't a lot better than it was, but it is clearly playable. It is the first day of spring in North East Hampshire. Let's hope for a glorious afternoon, an entertaining, attacking, open game of football where the pitch doesn't play a part in the result.
Absolutely. We await the teams. Just before we do, I haven't cited Tommy Widrington here yet this afternoon. We'll keep you abreast of that one. That is unusual at this stage, but obviously if Tommy's not able to be here for whatever reason, we know that he's got more than capable deputies in Hugo Langton and Richard and Dave, the goalkeeping physio. Tommy's rallying call in the programme, just to expand on what you hinted at, Steve, how you react to adversity is key, and whilst everyone their say, the dressing room ultimately must show response. The group are together and ready to attack the busy schedule we have ahead of us. And he finishes with this thought: join me in being too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful, and too determined to be defeated. And obviously by defeated he means in the long run. That long run of 16 games that lies ahead of Aldershot Town. They've got 30 points from 30 games. Who knows if 46 points from 46 games would be enough. On last year's tally it wouldn't be. I suspect the amount of points needed this year will be slightly lower.
Yeah.
Boreham would go, I think, with 51 last season, but nevertheless Aldershot are going to need to pick up their fair share of draws, and undoubtedly 7 wins somewhere along the way as well. As always, he says, be loud and be proud. We are Shots. 4 minutes to 3 here at the EBB, and delighted to say that the crowd are still coming in here. I suspect a few people have made a late decision given the earlier announcement that the game would go ahead, given the improved weather on the day. We're into double digit figures here, 12 degrees in northeast Hampshire. It feels positively balmy, but it certainly makes a change from the rain, from the wind, from the cold. All debated. We've got a healthy breeze, but plenty of blue sky, fluffy white clouds. And here come the teams. Aldershot Town in their home kit of red shirts with blue stripes, red shorts and red socks, and Hartlepool in a pale blue strip with navy blue edging. Hartlepool led out by their skipper Luke Waterfall, a National League title and playoff winner, and Aldershot Town led out by Aaron Jones, the number 17. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mascots out there, 3 of which we know, relatives of the Strays. There's a 7th one running out a little bit late as well. Wonderful sight to see, as always, as the two teams shake hands. The Shots, we are guessing at this, but we believe they will line up with Dewhurst in goal, Jenkins, Woodhouse and Armitage a back 3. Ollie Scott left wing back, Aaron Jones right wing back, Hargreaves and Frost in the middle, and Ryan Jones in the number 10 position, Barrett and Barham. Steve Gibbs alongside me. Your thoughts on that 11 named to start the game today? And obviously it goes without saying, in the early moments today, if you can keep an eye on that formation and see if we've guessed at it correctly.
Absolutely. I think I can't see any other option unless it's a square peg in a round hole, particularly defensively. I think we saw Ryan Jones playing in a more central role against Southend on Tuesday night, along with Barrett, in the continued absence of James Henry. I think it's a team that largely picks itself. It's good to see Luke Jenkins hopefully fit enough to play something approaching 90 minutes, unless he's tactically withdrawn. Wouldn't see, for him as well as for the team, you wouldn't want to see him suffer any sort of injury this afternoon. And has been horribly disjointed and disrupted by injury. I think this is an Aldershot Town team that are definitely capable of getting a result this afternoon, of getting 3 points, and it looks like a team with good complementary qualities. Strong, agile, tall at the back, although their aerial ability won't be as tested as it might normally be with Manny Di Serve on the bench. Dynamic in midfield, creative up top, and you'd hope that Jack Barham, against a big, strong Hartlepool defence, you'd hope that he will have the pace and the movement and the guile to maybe find a few spaces.
That's Steve Gibbs, I'm Rob Worrell. You are either listening to BBC Radio Surrey online or you are watching NLTV. A very good afternoon to our viewers and listeners. Welcome to the Poolies watching and tuned in. Healthy section of visiting supporters over on the side, probably 70 or 80. It's a long way from Hartlepool, especially for a game that you don't know if it's going to be when you set off. Hartlepool are going to kick towards the East Bank in the first half. Adam Campbell gets away, and that's Jack Barham in. He's robbed Campbell. He's in. Oh, and it's a great save from Adam Smith. One chance. 10 seconds in for Jack Barham, but Smith defends him, and the first chance of the afternoon goes begging. Jack Barham, brilliant pressing, won the ball, but couldn't find the finish, and the Shots have themselves an early corner. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Hartlepool conceded a very soft goal against Altrincham on Tuesday through a lack defensive error. So very repeated that, I'm afraid. Jack Barham, good save by Adam Smith, who has been an excellent custodian for the Poolies this season, but Barham should score.
Barrett lifts in the corner, headed away by Hartlepool. First onto the ball is Aaron Jones. Gives it back to Ollie Scott, who sends it forward. Barrett's got it inside the area. Lovely touch to take it down. Feints to go. Then comes back out to Luca Woodhouse. Woodhouse across the penalty area to Hargreaves. He plays it back to Ryan Jones. Shot comes in, or is it a drifted cross? I don't know. Either way, pretty easy for Adam Smith to just stand on his line and collect. We're now a minute and a quarter in. We've had an explosive start. The Shots so very nearly going through. Here's Adam Campbell in at the other end, and the flag's gone up. What a start. Less than 1.5 minutes. Poolies go straight from the keeper out to the left back. One ball through the middle to Campbell. He's just offside. And it remains, Steve Gibbs, less than 2 minutes in, somehow 0-0.
Wow, what a start. All you're hoping now is that the two teams can continue this for, well, the first half certainly, and then the second half if they're on Duracell batteries. What a start. You wouldn't think Campbell should also score that.
Yeah.
Very similar situation to Jack Barham at the other end after 10 seconds. Draws the goalkeeper, you'd think place it over him into the net, but again, as with Smith at one end, Dewhurst does well to make the block.
Good flick on from Barham into the feet of Barrett, and then his ball out to the right is just behind Aaron Jones. That explosive start, and if you've joined us late, it is 0-0, but wonderful chances at both ends within the first minute and a half. Indicative of two sides who desperately, for different reasons, need a win this afternoon if they can possibly get it. Shots in possession. Now, we have got it wrong with the formation. Jenkins is in the centre, and Luca Woodhouse is playing in a whole field position. Tyler Frost is still out on the left side, and Barham and Barrett up top. Jones in behind them. Luca Woodhouse, Marshall in the defence. CDM.
Yep. Yeah, it's a he's a good enough footballer that it's a position he will not feel out of water in. It's probably a position, and I will he's played in the Southampton Academy. In academy football. Yeah, I think in the absence of Theo Widrington, he can be that first line of defence.
Yeah. Sorry, offside's just been given, but I don't know how it can be, because the Aldershot player didn't touch the ball. The Hartlepool player brought it down. Quite bizarre one, that, from the officials. Unless they've rewritten all the rules of football, I just don't get that one. But never mind, we'll crack on. We're in the 4th minute. We're nearly through it, to be honest. And I can confirm that Tommy Whittington isn't down on the bench. I don't know if he's here in the director's box, but it's Hugo and Richard down there. So there's a late challenge on Woodhouse, and I think he'll be okay. But he's won a free kick just outside the centre circle. If for any reason Tommy isn't here and is watching or listening on, all the best. Everything's okay. Meanwhile, the Shots look to be under the command of Richard and Hugo, something that's a familiar situation to them in recent months, Steve Gibbs.
Unfortunately so, yes. They will not be worried about this at all, other than obviously the personal health of Tommy Widrington. Once the game starts, they will just revert to their very familiar.
Ball forward out to the right from Shot. Finds touch, Aaron Jones leaped but couldn't get it under control. Would you believe that in the space of 2 minutes, Halifax scored twice at York 0, Halifax 2. It's also Solihull Moors 0, Gateshead 1. Solihull Moors, of course, come here on Tuesday night. Early goal in the National League South 2, where Farnborough have taken the lead. fully up to date with the other games in the National League in the area. Here's Aldershot with the throw. Jones plays it back to Aaron, his namesake. Barham gets a flick on. Barrett can't quite get there. Jenkins lets the ball bounce and then heads it back to Marcus Dewhurst. So the shots with another different set of in that defence. Certainly will be the first time Jenkins has started a game with Armitage alongside him and with Woodhouse ahead of him. That's for sure. And here's the kick from Dewhurst. Bounces in, nobody on it. Barrett gets a flick on. Waterfall's there, but he doesn't take it. Jack Hunter does. Jenkins heads it clear, but he can only find Luke Sharman. Makes his way down the right. He's dispossessed momentarily by Tyler Frost, and now Hartlepool come down the right hand side, but that pass is too strong. It'll disappear into touch for a throw into Aldershot Town in the left back position. We've had 6 minutes gone here. Welcome again if you've joined us late to our online listeners and to our NLTV viewers. I'm Rob Worrell alongside former Aldershot Town media manager Steve Gibbs, and we've got sunshine here and white fluffy clouds, 12 degrees in East Hampshire, and a pitch that I think we can politely say is recovering.
Yes, absolutely. I think so. It's given the amount of rain that has fallen on it recently, I think that it's in the passable condition that it is, considering what Aldershot Town pitches have been like in recent seasons. I think it's no little achievement.
Ball through the middle, looking for Campbell. He's offside again. He manages to clip it up in the air, and he does get it on target, but he knew it was offside. The flag came up, but Aldershot, it's a fine line there, and Campbell's your man. He scored, of course, previously against the Shots, hasn't he? Only 7 goals last season for Crawley, and surprisingly, and I think he may have not always been in the lineup, whether it's through selection or injury, but only 3 this season for the Poolies. Not the kind of numbers Adam Campbell's used to. No,
he's not hit anywhere near the heights that we remember of him in season, but he's shown already that if you, like Jack Barham at the other end, if you switch off and you think, oh, he's going to be offside again, he will punish you.
Here's Jones and a difficult ball and can't see a forward pass, so he goes back to Will Armitage. A reminder that Anthony Limbrick is in charge of Hartlepool, not as some people may think, not the Poolies of course, but those from the outside looking in, after a relatively low-key announcement a couple of weeks ago that Lenny Lawrence has taken a step back and he's now the assistant manager, and Anthony Limbrick is now fully in charge. That has been the case since they went to Sutton and got their first ever win at Gander Green Lane. Since then they've had 3 home games, really looking to close the gap on the playoffs, and unfortunately for the Pools, they ended up with 2 draws and a defeat. Here's Jack Robinson keeping the ball in for Hartlepool, and then it's played down the line by Jamie Miley, but he can only find Luke Jenkins, who plays the ball back to Marcus Dewhurst and then goes fetch it off him. Tries a ball straight through the middle. It will be Barham jumping against Parks. Strong on the ball there from Cameron Hargreaves, but he just shoved up against his man, the number 18, Jamie Miley. Tom Parks, we talked about Luke Waterfall being a title and playoff winner in the National League. Tom Parks, Steve, 11 years in the EFL, over 500 professional appearances. Ball through the middle, and that's going to go all the way out of play. Goal kick to the Shots. But 3 warnings now in 9 minutes that Hartlepool are going to look to expose Aldershot quickly on the final defensive line.
Absolutely, yeah, and any team that looks at Aldershot Town will identify those defensive weaknesses and maybe the opportunities for runs in the channels, and certainly that looks what Hartlepool are doing. According to stats, Luca Woodhouse has played central midfield once in his career, and that was back in August during a loan spell at Dagenham and Redbridge. Not a familiar position at all to him, but one that he has the qualities to fulfil.
Yeah, he's shutting down his man here, and he gets a vital foot in, and the referee gives a free kick there, and I'm rather surprised at that. We'll keep an eye on Ross Martin's performance today. 13 games in the National League this season, 53 yellows and 1 red. Unusually 10 minutes in, Steve. I can't quite call what he is. Normally by now they've shown themselves as being power or attention seekers or football lovers, and also referees that kind of give every little soft decision or don't, and he hasn't quite given us a clear idea of that. I thought that was a really slight foul, but he gave it.
It was, I think, a soft free kick.
Miley's going to send it into the area now, and very cleverly Will Armitage ducks underneath it, goes out of play behind the goal. A goal kick to the shots. We are halfway through the 11th minute. A few goals elsewhere. Barnet 1-0 up at Rochdale, relentless this season under Dean Brennan. Gateshead 1-0 up at Solihull through Jovan Malcolm. Fylde 1-0 up at Altrincham. That's not a Shots fans want to see. Tamworth 1, Southend 0. And from League 2, Cambridge United 1, Stockport County 0. Only significant because of the goal scorer. Well done, Josh Stokes. Bottom of the league, Cambridge 1-0 up against promotion chasing Stockport. There's a foul by Ryan Jones. Couple of shout outs while Hartlepool have this defensive kick, free kick. Lindsay Morris, one of the two regular Tenerife fans that listen to this commentary. One is here, Colin Hayden, the other one Lindsay Morris, who says greetings, coming loud and clear, so relieved the game's on, especially for those loyal strays. There's a ball played into the area and Hargreaves will clear his lines. Also a very good afternoon, in fact it probably won't be afternoon, but good day to Ray Anstey, who's listening from Mumbai, India. Here's Hartlepool on the edge of the area, ball in, played back by Aaron Jones to Dewhurst, who's under pressure, kicks it up in the air, doesn't go too far, cleared across. A lovely take out of the air by Luca Woodhouse, but his touch is then pounced upon. Now Campbell's got it, sends it out to the right hand side. Strong tackle from Ollie Scott, pokes it away, then it's helped towards goal, cleared away by Aaron Jones. Hartlepool back into the area, heavy touch, chasing the ball behind the goal kick. And well, what do we make of it, Steve? 12 and a half minutes gone, it's 0-0, it could easily be 1-1, if not more goals, but yeah, what do you make of those opening 12 and a half minutes?
Frenetic, it's been a little bit harum scarum. Worryingly for Aldershot Town, Gateshead seemed to be
Hartlepool.
Sorry, Hartlepool. Yeah. Apologies to
to the Poolies.
to Poolies and my North East family connections. The other North East National League team, they seem to be enjoying a bit of ascendancy too easily against this Shots defence.
Here come Hartlepool again. Woodhouse steps forward. On to the ball is Ray's Cleary, on loan from West Brom. He's been dispossessed by Hargreaves. And then a header down from Parks, which Barham snaffles. Well done, Jack. He's surely pushed in the back there. And the referee hasn't given that, and that was black push in the back. So maybe he was unsighted. Certainly not showing us any consistency early on, the referee. He can make mistakes, of course, like anybody else. The assistant referee's got his flag up on the far side again. Paul Reynolds, it says he can hear the commentary loud and clear in South Florida. So yeah, still plenty of overseas listeners to the commentary this afternoon, or viewers. They may well be paying for the NLTV DAZN subscription as well. Ball forward, should be won by Robinson in the air. Luke Waterfall lifts it back, and then Hartlepool win it in the air again through Stevens, and Will Armitage will go all the way back to Marcus Dewhurst. Indications inside that first minute and a half is that both sides might be playing with man for man on the back line, and there's been some really tight moments. Here's Cleary again, he's getting tugged from Hargreaves, who wins it at the second attempt, but the referee was well positioned, and he did see the tug of the shirt from Cameron Hargreaves, and I think he's definitely going to punish it with a free kick and a yellow card, Steve. So seeing that one as quite cynical. Hargreaves might have thought he was subtle, but we saw it, the ref saw it, and he's punished it with yellow.
Deservedly so. It wasn't subtle at all from Cameron Hargreaves. It was cynical, it was blatant. He knew exactly what he was doing. The only way that Cameron was going to keep up with Reyes Cleary was by illegally pulling him back?
I don't know. I think he's one of the most explosive, pacey players in the Aldershot team. I think he would have caught him myself, but in the moment, he certainly felt that he couldn't.
Yeah.
And he reached out and tugged him. So that's a bit of a tightrope for Cameron Hargreaves to walk for the rest of the game. In comes the ball to the area, and well done, Will Armitage. Not only does he head the ball clear, fouled as well, and for the third time, the referee's blown his whistle. Hartlepool go on to put the ball in the net, and you kind of understand that. We all did it back in the day when we were playing, but these days, if you're not careful, the referee can show you a yellow for that, Steve. It's delaying a restart, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the next player to do it will see yellow, and rightly so.
Yeah, Dewhurst with the goal kick. We're 0-0. We are very nearly 16 minutes in the wintry sunshine here at the EBB. There's a strong head. Waterfall at the back. Woodhouse arrives a little bit late. Hartlepool have won it. Thinks about a free kick, doesn't give it. Hartlepool players down, and Aldershot will continue. And very sportingly, Scott will stop the play. And interestingly, the ref was very close to that one. I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd given a foul, and he didn't.
No.
And so, no. And he's now coming over to have a word with the player that gave it, but he didn't give a free kick, so he's going to make himself look very silly if he dishes out more punishment than that. I don't know if he's coming over to have a word. No, he's just coming over to restart the play. So he doesn't. He's standing by his original decision that there wasn't a foul, and the player has decided he doesn't need treatment. So we're just going to restart with Aldershot possession inside their own half. And I can confirm for the Poolies fans, if there's any listening. And there might well not be, of course, because Rob Law, the wonderful BBC Radio T's commentators here. That was the number 18, Jamie Miley. There's a poor touch there from Luke Jenkins. And for the second time today, an offside's been given. But the ball came off an Aldershot player, Steve. Explain this. Have the rules changed?
Not that I know of.
Well, at least that's evened itself out.
Pass.
Yeah, ball played forward, headed away by Parks. Headed back inside by Robinson to Miley. Parks then clears it forward. Luke Jenkins wins it in the air. Luca Woodhouse flicks it on. That'll bounce once and go into touch. It's fraught, it's intense, it's indicative of two sides that are desperate to win a game of take 3 points home from the EBB this afternoon. But it remains 0-0, almost 15 minutes in. Here's Barrett getting onto a misplaced header, sends it out to the right hand side. Parks does really well to come back strongly and beat Barham to it. Jenkins holds off Medine. Gary Medine, 6'4", 34 years old, and has played 16 seasons in the top 3 divisions of English football. You cannot get more experience than what Hartlepool have got at either end of the pitch in Waterfall, Parks and Medine.
No, he's Medine. He's not a regular anymore by any stretch, but his scoring record is still hugely impressive. He scores one in better than 4 opportunities, and he links the play well as well. He's still got that class that maybe he hasn't got the pace, but he's still got ability. And you can tell he's still a class player at this level.
Okay, so Hartlepool players just jumped over Ryan Jones. If you're watching on an LTV, maybe you've got a view from the other side of the pitch. From this side, it looked, when the referee blew his whistle, to give Ryan Jones a free kick, but I think he may have... Jones was backing in. A strange one from the point I looked at it, but here's Miley sending it forward. It's headed away by Armitage, and Ollie Scott's onto the ball, sends it forward up towards Barrett, who brings it down, the second attempt, and then plays the ball through to Barham. It's a good one. He's in the right hand side of the penalty area. Ryan Jones is looking to make up. Aaron Jones sends it in. Frost almost overran it. He's onto the ball on the edge of the area, just has to come backwards to tow it away from Sharman, who's come back. Now Hartlepool have got players back, and it's given away by Frost. Hartlepool can counter here. They're going central. The ball played in, looking for Medine. He's looking to flick it back into the path of Sharman. Prodded effort comes in. It's a wonderful goal on the transition from Hartlepool. Every pass stretch. The final shot beat the despairing dive of Dewhurst, and I think it's the very experienced Gary Medine who's played his part in the goal from start to finish. And it's the Poolies who've taken the lead here around the 21st minute mark. Aldershot 0, Hartlepool 1.
I'm afraid that is an own goal by Tyler Frost.
Is it?
Medine was about to pull the trigger from the edge of the penalty area. Tyler did really well to get back, track back, make a sliding tackle that prevented Medine getting the shot. But it was such a forceful tackle that the ball had enough impetus. Marcus Dewhurst on its way into the bottom corner. Horrible for Tyler. And it was an excellent move from Hartlepool, but the final touch has come from a red and
well spotted. A spotter's badge for you, Steve. It was difficult to see the speed of the passing. You might have got a much better view on the NLTV pictures, but Steve Gibbs calling that's a Tyler Frost own goal as he looked to poke it presumably away from goal and behind for a corner, and he's found
absolutely.
the bottom corner. And so ironic really, because in recent games Tyler's had 2 or 3 efforts in front of goal himself and not been able to find the target, and now he does so at the East Bank end, and a very rare own goal of such.
You could see immediately from his reaction, head trying to bury in the turf on his knees. So unfortunate. Absolutely, he was trying to slide in and divert the ball behind the goal line.
No. Fair enough. I know that you wouldn't call that unless you saw it clearly, so I'll absolutely back you on that one. And
I mean, I'd be happy to be proved wrong in a replay, but I think from what I saw and Tyler's reaction and Medine's reaction, that the only player that got a touch on that was.
A reminder that if you're watching on NLTV, you'll be seeing the game from the other side, and it might have been clear as daylight, but from where we're commentating, it isn't. Here's Robinson clipping the ball forward. Again, the shots have gone behind at home. Got a mountain to climb. Here's the ball in to the box. Frost has got it. He's got the experience to clear his head and go again. And he'll be hell-bent on making up for that. I think maybe he was trying so hard to get back because it was him who gave the ball away initially at the start of the move. Here's Hartlepool on the right-hand side trying to get a ball in. That's cut out by that same player. So Frost and Scott there together. And then Ryan Jones, I believe, is fouled on the touchline in front of the 80 or 90 or so Hartlepool fans in the south stand, in that final blue seated section. So really, really tight start. Nothing in it, Steve. Aldershot with a really, really clear-cut effort in the opening minutes. Barham making it for himself, but sadly unable to finish one-on-one for his what would have been his 10th goal of the season. Here they come on the right-hand side with Aaron Jones trying to bend. There's a little push in the back of Barham as he thinks about heading, but it's only slight nudge, and it was quite clever from the Hartlepool player because it didn't look like a foul. It just did enough to put Barham off, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was good defending from Nathan Sheeran, who's the brilliant in central midfield, pretty good as a right back as well, and that's where he finds himself this afternoon. And yeah, just the charge, just knocked Jack off his balance, and that was more than enough.
Yeah, Nathan Sheeran we're more familiar with, certainly playing against Aldershot for his former teams, including Oldham, in the centre of midfield. He's back from suspension today. Here's Aldershot row in the right back position. So Anthony Limbrick has struck first here. The former Woking manager will be to 24.5 in. Under Lenny Lawrence's stewardship earlier in the season, one of his first few games in charge, Poolies were a bit down on the end, but they played really well against the Shots, comfortable 2-0 winners, and one of their substitutes today, Manny Dizarue, was with both. Here's a short header, and Barham lifts it towards goal, but misses the target. and then Jones thinks he's fouled on the edge of the area, but he's not, and it's gone behind. And well, again, Barham doing well to pounce for the chance, but Steve, I've got to say it, he's got to be finishing there.
He has. I think credit to Smith, who did well, came out quickly, made himself really that kind of spider save that Peter Schmeichel virtually invented. He was so close to Jack Barham as Barham made contact that it would have been a very impressive finish to lift the ball over the goalkeeper and get it goalwards. I think Jack, he will feel that maybe he should have done better, but for me that's huge credit to the goalkeeper.
Here's Josh Barrett taking the ball down nicely, feeding it out to the right where Hargreaves leaves it for Jones. He's caught late by Miley, but the ball had already gone. The referee plays on. There's a good recovery from Armitage. Aldershot play it forward. Jones, is he fouled? No, just good hassling from a combination of Miley and Hunter. We're working like Trojans in that midfield for Hartlepool. Ball forward. Frost flicks it on. Barham's onto it now. Takes it down on his chest on the touchline. Goes back to Ollie Scott. Scott inside to Cameron Hargreaves. Lovely take. Shifts it out. He'll send it out to the right side to Aaron Jones, who just checks his touch. Comes inside of Cleary. Plays it inside to Luca Woodhouse, who finds Hargreaves. Hargreaves back to Woodhouse. Turns. Has lost possession. Adam Campbell's got it. Coming over the halfway line in the centre circle. Thinks about the correct ball. In the end, he sends it out to Luke Sharman on the right-hand side. He's up against Ollie Scott. Tries an early ball in. It's through the corridor of uncertainty at slightly high pace and beats everybody. Goes behind. Goal kick to the Shots. 27 minutes, very nearly gone. Aldershot Town 0, Hartlepool 1. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Hartlepool still again showing that they've got the better of this Shots defence. That one, it was just waiting for someone, whether Medine or Campbell, who was again involved slightly deeper in that move. But if Medine had been anywhere near the 6-yard box, you'd think he'd be sliding in to convert that one.
York City have pulled a goal back against FC Halifax Town. It is Ollie Pearce, the former Worthing striker. Worthing are behind in the National League South. And I did give a score of Dorking 0, Farnborough 1. I think that goal must have been wiped out because I've now had an update saying that Dorking are winning that game 2-0. Gary Michael D says he's listening in from Guildford, is not feeling great today. He's enjoying the comms. Hope the Shots can cheer him up. Desperate for the points. Altrincham have got level against Fylde through Lewis Banks and then gone behind to Fylde. It's 2-1 to Fylde in that one. A number of away sides starting the day well this afternoon in the National. 28 minutes in here, and the Poolies, having failed to win their last 3 games, all of them at home, looking for 3 points on the road today, and they've made a good start. Here's coming forward, good interception by Luke Jenkins. Hargreaves, Josh Barrett now plays a little ball forward looking for Ryan Jones. Things haven't quite run for Ryan Jones so far. He'll be to have a positive impact today. Back in the starting lineup, in the central kind of number 10 position behind Barham and Barrett. Is Will Armitage playing the ball forward. Won't find its target. Hargreaves wins it in the air, ends up on the floor, but Luca Woodhouse picks up the pieces. And Hargreaves under pressure as he gets the ball back, flicks it forward, and it will run all the way through to Adam Smith, the 32-year-old Poolies goalkeeper. I think he's signed an extended contract now. A really safe pair of hands, wearing the number 40 shirt, and bizarrely has just done a full 360-degree pirouette in the edge of his box. I'm not quite sure what he was doing, maybe just double checking that there was no players behind him. Here they come on the right hand side, and Scott doing well to stop a cross from Sharman, who chases back the block, and they come again on the edge of the penalty area now. Miley picks it up. Is that a heavy touch? It is, and in the end all he can do is stop it going behind for a goal kick and give away a throw into Aldershot in the left back position. Very nearly half an hour gone here, and the Shots trail at the EBB by a goal to 0 to Hartlepool. A very good afternoon to the whole Build family who are listening, including Moo and Al, Lila, and I'm guessing as well Grandad John and Nana Sue. Here's Cleary sending a ball into the area and tipped away at the far post for a corner by Dewhurst, just as Gary Medine was about to pop up at the far post for a, well, if it had come down, it would have been a bit of a nod in at the far post, wouldn't it? But Dewhurst, taking no chances, did well. Yeah, rightly so. He had to track. He did well to track it, because it was a floating, flighted ball in from the left-hand side from Cleary on his wrong foot. Had to take evasive action because you couldn't be certain that Medine wasn't make contact. It would have been a great angle trying to divert it into the goal, but Dewhurst wasn't to know that he wouldn't be able to do that. Corner then to Hartlepool, delicious delivery, only needs a slight touch, and the player up there who tried to get that slight touch was Luke Sharman, and he nodded it wide, Steve. Another one, if we're going to call out that Jack Barham should have been finishing at least one of his two efforts, Luke Sharman's got to score that. Yeah, I think you could see his reaction and on the Pooley's bench. That was a good chance. Ball from Barrett, will it find Barham? No, again. Good work from Smith coming out of his area. Volleys it, or clears it, sorry, into touch. Throw in to the shots. Quite a lot of nearly moments in this game, but for a couple of tight offsides, Hartlepool could have a couple of goals already. They've got one, and the shots have had a couple of golden opportunities. The first one coming just 10 seconds in. Brilliant pressing from Jack Barham, but he was thwarted by Adam Smith. Couldn't find the finish one-on-one. There's a lovely leave by Luca Woodhouse, and he drops his shoulder, turns inside, squares the ball across to Ollie Scott. Scott out to Tyler Frost on the left. Cutting in now, Frost. He'll be desperate to make amends. Tries a shot from distance and just doesn't get hold of it at all. He drags it wide and left. Goes behind. Goal kick to Hartlepool. 32 and a quarter minutes gone. Shots nil. Hartlepool 1. Here's Steve Gibbs. Yeah, that shot from Tyler, unfortunately, is coming to typify Aldershot Town's afternoon so far. 32 and a half minutes in. Promise. Ultimately, it's falling a little bit short. They started really positively, not just Jack Barham in the first 10 seconds, but since then, it's been Hartlepool who've won their battles and taken the ascendancy all across the pitch. Hartlepool winning the ball over on the right hand side. Cross comes in. Again, it's in that corridor of uncertainty, and Aaron Jones takes no chances and hooks it behind for the corner. I've got to say though, in the build up to that, I felt that Armitage was fouled in the air. Referee played on. There's a lot of tight calls from the ref today on slight fouls, and I'm not for 1 minute suggesting he's given them all to Hartlepool, but I think the Lions' share of the decisions have gone that way. They've got a corner now, Hartlepool. They'll feel they are worthy of their 1-goal lead with 33 and a half minutes in. They've scored one. They've had the ball in the net 2 or 3 times, admittedly always after the whistle had gone. In comes the corner, played very deep, headed back across though, and almost cleared away. And then surely Woodhouse is fouled. It's gone out of play anyway for a goal kick. A horrible moment there where Woodhouse and Frost kicked the ball against each other, and the way the shot's luck is if a Hartlepool player had been on the spot and just popped it over the line, because it just feels like at the moment the rub of the green is against the shots. There's only one thing to do though in that situation, Steve, and that is roll your sleeves up and work harder, right? Absolutely, yeah. You make your own luck. If it's going against you, you earn those little 50-50 moments going in your favour. Oh, Armitage has brought the ball down, and Cleary then got onto it, but Armitage recovered. Ball forward. Hargreaves is onto a loose ball. He's definitely been fouled by Jamie Miley, and he may have taken one in the midriff or the unmentionables, I'm not sure, but he's up to his feet, and Aldershot have a free kick, and Hargreaves, the pocket rocket that he is, just slips another couple of Duracell batteries in that back pocket and cracks on with it. He'll be fine. The way he got up, it looked like he was almost checking out who was making that foul, just to add his name to his little black book. Here's Barham heading it inside. Hartlepool get a chance to clear. Armitage arrives in the back of Cleary, and he goes down. and he's just feeling the head. His teammate Robinson wants to take the quickly, but quite rightly the referee coming over to check that Cleary's okay. Now Ebbsfleet have been putting in some improved performance late, including holding Forest Green to a 0-0 draw within the last 7 days. And whilst without Aldershot getting a result themselves, it won't help them much. Wealdstone, who went above them on Wednesday, are behind at home to Ebbsfleet. Franklin Domi with the goal there. Farnborough have pulled a goal back at Dorking in the National League South. And big Tony shot. Tony Matthews says, good afternoon, Steve and Rob, from Sue and myself, listening here in St Neots. Let's hope we score 2 goals and win 2-1. Yeah, that's Tony's match prediction today. Our prediction competition. Players from both sides have come over to the sidelines to take some refreshment, perhaps some fresh instruction. Ryan Jones asking Richard Dryden something, and the body language suggesting, what do you want me to do? What choice do you want me to make in whatever situation he's referring to? And he's now talking to Luca Woodhouse with his arms out wide as well. So there's a lack of clarity for sure, whatever the instruction is or was. But with 36 and a half minutes in, Hartlepool have a slender lead. Pretty good value, I have to say. The shots have had 2 really good chances. They've both fallen to Jack Barham. He's been thwarted on a one-on-one by Adam Smith, and then he's pounced on a weak back header and gone for a lobbed finish, but the lob wasn't good enough to beat Smith. Hopefully Jack can get a third opportunity in this game sooner rather than later and take it. Cleary waits to come back on. He's okay. If there's any Pooley fans listening, he'll now run on and mark Aaron Jones. The ball's over on the other side at the moment for the benefit of our online listeners, and now through Luke Jenkins it's coming over to the right side. Into Jones into the other Jones, Aaron. He passes back to Cameron Hargreaves, and Hartlepool working really well out of possession here. Shots play a ball down the right channel. It's headed away by Parks. Big leap by Aaron Jones. He wins the ball, but Parks clears it again, and Luke Jenkins just ball backwards with his head to Dewhurst. The pair of them then exchange passes. We are deep into the 38th minute, and the shots 1-0 down as it stands. Dewhurst with a good ball out to the feet of Barham, nicely controlled. Gives the ball to Frost. Frost to Scott, inside to Hargreaves. Aaron Jones wants it out on this right hand side. He wanted it first time, but Hargreaves doesn't have the benefit of the slight elevation we have. We could see it was a relatively straightforward pass. And then Hargreaves plays it to Barrett as he timed his run well to beat the offside track. He's down to the right side, sends a ball in to the far post. Frost should get it under control. He's just in the left edge of the area, sends a ball in with his left foot. It's cleared away, headed away again by Hartlepool, only as far as Luca Woodhouse. Now he slips a lovely ball to Frost, sends it in left footed, and it's headed behind by Luke Waterfall. And the Shots have got themselves a corner here in the second half of the 39th minute. Trail by a goal to nil. Barrett's going over to take it. They desperately need to get themselves back on level terms sooner rather than later. Steve Gibbs.
They do, yeah. That was a good bit of football there. The through ball that sent Josh Barrett clear on the right hand side, the other through ball on the opposite side that created that crossing opportunity. Aldershot's best for a good few minutes.
Here's the corner taken short. Ryan Jones skipped one way then the other, sends in a cross. Waterfall's there, heads it out, headed back in, picked up by Jenkins on the edge of the box, finds Aaron Jones out to Luca Wood inside the penalty area, tries a ball in, comes back, it's blocked, comes back out to him. Can he send it back in? He finds Hargreaves on the edge of the box. Hargreaves finds Barrett on the edge of the box. He shifts one way then the other, tries a little shot, and he just doesn't get any real direction or pace on it. Smith plucks it out of the air. Barham interested but not going to get there. Deep inside the 40th minute, Hartlepool won, and I had a score update to give you from the National League 2, and it's all about the away sides today. Boston Eastleigh 1 and Maidenhead 0, Yeovil 1. There's a shove in the back from Cleary on Aaron Jones. Free kick to the Shots. 5 minutes plus whatever's added here at the end of the first half, and it remains 1-0 to the Pools.
Yeah, you could see it in that build-up to Aldershot Town's last attack. People are sitting back. Either Aldershot Town are lacking movement, and/or Hartlepool are too well marshalled at the back. That whoever's in midfield looking for that through ball, looking for that creative pass, they haven't got any outlets. At the moment, it's too comfortable for Hartlepool. The game is happening in front. Aldershot Town need a bit more movement. They need to find space.
Here's a ball from Barrett out to the right, finds Ryan Jones, sends in the cross. Barham tries the early header and it'll drift wide. And ironically, if he hadn't have got his head on it and it was a great leap, then I think it might have run through to Barrett. But the Shots players determined to try and get on level terms before half time, but it's not quite coming off for them. 41 minutes gone, 0-1, goal kick to Hartlepool.
Yeah, and that's that in large credit to the solidity of this Hartlepool back four. They've been playing a back five or three central defenders under Anthony Limbrick, who switched from a back four, but now he's reverted to a four, and it's working really well for them. They're looking really solid. That cross more hit Jack Barham on the forehead than he made any sort of telling, coherent connection to it, and in the end it just bounced wide.
From the goal kick, huge headed clearance from Luke Jenkins, and then Hartlepool win the ball back, send it out to their left, and it finds touch. So Aaron Jones will get us back underway here in the fading afternoon sunshine at the EBB. Thankfully the rain of yesterday has abated today and we've been able to get this game on. Is Dewhurst clearing under pressure, and he can only find Hunter. Hunter plays the ball out to Campbell. He's on the edge of the area, slips it right to, I think it's Sharman. He's picked the ball up inside the penalty area, gets a shot away, and that's wide. And it'll be a goal kick to the Shots. And Hartlepool just reminding us that whether Aldershot get themselves a goal and get back into this or not, they are and continue to be a goal threat themselves. Shots playing it short up to Woodhouse. Woodhouse finds Ryan Jones. He's just drifted out to the right side. Sends a ball into Barrett, who has run past it, and an easy one for Waterfall to find. Hartlepool though make a hash of that attack, and the ball's back with Dewhurst. He sends it out to Luke Jenkins, and that sunshine's getting lower and lower. Might just be an issue in the eyes of the Shots defenders and goalkeeper. Now is Armitage sending the ball over the top. Barham jumps with Parks. Parks wins the header, bounces awkwardly. Woodhouse heads it out to the right, and then Armitage tries to win it, but Medine holds it up really well. Robinson sends it forward. Jenkins wins the header. Miley heads it, but only up in the air. And then Hunter wins the next header, and Jenkins takes it under control, goes forward, plays it up through the middle. Adam Smith comes out of his area, kicks it up on the left-hand side, and it should stay in play. Armitage will get it under control. He'll be shut down by Cleary, and he'll go back inside to Marcus Dewhurst, and the clock's ticked on. 43.5 minutes gone here. You are either watching NLTV or listening to BBC Radio Surrey. I'm Rob Worrell, alongside me Steve Gibbs, and it's Shots 0, Pools 1. Parks beats Barham in the air. It's a closer contest than it might be, but Parks generally winning them. Here's Jenkins on the halfway line, feeding Tyler Frost, who unfortunately started and finished the move for the Hartlepool attack. Sends the ball to Ollie Scott, the Hartlepool goal, I beg your pardon. Luca Woodhouse sends it out to the right hand side to find Aaron Jones. Jones finds Barrett. Barrett into the feet of Jones. Back to Luca Woodhouse. Shots on the edge of the final third. Hargreaves is dispossessed really well, and got 3 against 3 here. They send the ball out to the right hand side. Sharman was looking for Campbell, but the Shots well positioned, win the ball back. Great work, Ollie Scott, applauded by Jenkins, and Frost comes to the edge of the penalty area on his left foot, back heels it to Ryan Jones. He's tugged back, sends a ball in, half cleared, and Parks manages to steer it into the path of Miley, who clears forward. Can the Shots create and take one last chance in this first half? The 45 minutes is up. We're going to have two. Comes in and Smith will just collect it in his mid-drift. And won't be in any hurry, I'm sure, to get the play back underway. Shots nil, Pools 1. So far, not a happy return for the Strays, but a long way to go in this one. And hopefully Richard and Hugo, in charge of the Shots, it looks like today, can get a more potent tune out of their team in the second half. Once again, there's not a lot in it. Once again, there's very little between the two teams, but once again, the Shots are behind. There's Barham. I thought fouling in the back of Waterfall, but nothing given. And Aldershot come down the left. Jones looking for Frost, tries to get the ball in, plays it off of Hunter. As we go into of the 2 added minutes at the end of this first half, Aldershot Town have got themselves another corner. You've been keeping tally today on the corners?
I am, yeah. 3, I think.
Yeah,
3 for the Shots, 2 for Hartlepool.
2 for Hartlepool. Barrett's out there. He's got the option to play it short with Ryan Jones. Most importantly, in the next 45 seconds, Aldershot need to get the ball into the penalty area and get on the end of it. Bus stop queue forming. Jones is in it. Jenkins is in it. Ooh, headers from Hartlepool. They're trying to chase it. Hargreaves surely was pushed in the back there. The ball's gone into touch. And the throw's been given to Hartlepool. And the little shove from Luke Waterfall was perfect, Steve. Enough to force Hargreaves into a touch, but not enough for the officials to see a foul. And yet, ironically, pretty similar to what Hargreaves was shown a yellow card for. Just a little bit of a coming together. Just enough, isn't it? The player does it, looking to do it subtly, and it all depends whether the officials see it or not. The officials getting a little bit of stick from the North Stank. There is the half-time whistle. Shots nil, Hartlepool 1. It's the Poolies who'll be the happiest at half-time, but a long way to go in this one. Here with his thoughts on the first is Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, the Hartlepool defence has held sway. And I think the voice that you might be able to hear rather angrily on our effects mic is directed at the Aldershot players and the Aldershot management, not the officials. Someone displeased with that first half showing. It's been difficult. Aldershot Town have toiled, they've worked hard, but that Hartlepool defence, we saw as Aldershot Town built their last attack of the half before the corner. Got everybody back apart from Gary Medine, and they were daring Aldershot Town, challenging the home side. Have you got the creativity? Have you got the passing ability to open us up, find some space, or can you finish from distance? At the moment, Aldershot Town haven't been able to do either. The Hartlepool attack, however, has found lots of space, lots of opportunities. They've looked lively and pacey, and the 2 wide attackers, Cleary and Sharman, in a previous system under Anthony Limbrick, have been playing as wing backs. So both the fullbacks and the wingers have got defensive capabilities. And at the moment, Aldershot Town can't cut through the middle because there's too many bodies back in that final third, and they can't go wide because the wingers are funneling back and doubling up as well. Brilliant from Hartlepool. Aldershot Town need a plan B, and in general, they need to be better.
Thank you, Steve. Just looking at the Aldershot substitutes warming up, I couldn't see initially Mullins or Dollahan, but it's a moot point. They're both out now. But those two were not out there initially, so whether there was discussed or whether they were just perhaps going to make, just delay bibs on, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think the point stands. I think Brad Dollahan needs to come on, needs to be given enough minutes to make an impact. We know that he's got the goal scoring quality, as he showed at Worthing, and that's what made West Ham United snaffle. Give him a chance. People said it so often about the previous loanee, Johnny Stuttle. Some people felt he wasn't given an opportunity. Of course, we didn't see what he was performing in training. But Brad Dollahan needs to be given enough minutes and given the right service to make an impact, or to be given an opportunity to make an impact. At the moment, it's not really Jack Barham's game. He's had a couple of half opportunities, and yes, if he'd scored after 10 seconds, we might be looking at a completely different first half. It's a moot point. He didn't score, and Adam Smith, the goalkeeper, did really well to make sure that he didn't. But I think Aldershot Town need a plan B.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Steve Gibbs. Going to do a half-time report to radio listeners, and then we'll run through some of the other scores in the National League for you.
The early kick-off finish: Everton 2, Manchester United 2, Arsenal 0, West Ham 1, Bournemouth 0, Wolves 1, Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 1, Ipswich 1, Spurs 2, Southampton 0, Brighton 1. Okay, today's winning 50-50 numbers. First prize £100, and the winning ticket is 74993. The second prize is for £70, ticket 76299.
Well, they trail by a goal to nil at the break, Adrian. We could have had a lot more goals in. Aldershot very nearly scoring on 10 seconds. Brilliant pressing from Jack Barham. Set the opportunity up for himself, drew the keeper, and the keeper won that battle, managing to deflect the ball behind for a corner. Within the very same minute, Hartlepool broke at the other end, and Campbell very nearly put them ahead. In the end, though, it was 21 minutes gone when Gary Medine pounced on a loose ball from Tyler Frost and played a 1-2 with Luke Sharman. As Sharman played it back into him, he prepared to shoot, and Tyler Frost, determined to make amends, poked a foot in and unfortunately ended up past his own goalkeeper from the edge of the area. Dewhurst with no chance as the ball found the bottom corner. Really, Adrian, of shots luck at the moment. Back-to-back defeats, of course, and just the one win across the last dozen or so National League games. Barham had another great chance on 25 minutes when he pounced on a weak back header, but his lobbed finish wasn't enough to beat Adam Smith. Since then, he's had another header just wide, and Hartlepool have had a couple of half chances too. The Poolies lead the shots at the break by 1-0, and reluctantly, I have to say, deservedly so.
The goalpost don't count, shortly crossbar, if they hit crossbar once, it's £10, if they hit crossbar twice.
Okay, lots of other goals and half-time scores to tell. First and foremost, I know many of you Shots fans say, who cares, move on, but I still want to highlight the good of young Josh Stokes, who surprisingly today, under the new management of the new old management of he's now Neil Harris, and his assistant, who are back at Cambridge. They're 2-0 up against League One playoff chasers Stockport County, and Josh Stokes, well done, he scored both goals for Cambridge this afternoon, getting rave reviews there. On loan in League One from his side, Bristol City, who play, of course, in the Championship. It's Tamworth 1, Southend 0 at half time, and it's Rochdale 0, Barnet 2. Maidenhead United 0, Yeovil 1, and it's Altrincham 1, Fylde 2. That's not good news for the Shots. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Oldham 0. I think we've entered that silly season now where sides in the bottom 6 or 7 start beating teams in the top 6 or 7. And Dagenham and Redbridge, who have been in pretty wretched form of late, desperate for a win like the Shots today. Boston United may well be out for the count soon. Got more points than Ebbsfleet, but they are losing at home to Eastleigh by 1-0. In the National League South, it is Dorking 2, Farnborough 1. Two relatively local sides involved there, hence giving out that score. Wealdstone got level against Ebbsfleet through Alex Reid, but Anthony Stewart has given Ebbsfleet the half-time lead there. They lead 2-1 at Wealdstone. And it's Solihull, Gateshead 1 as well in the National League. So as it stands, well, we know for sure that if Town can't win today, then they've got no realistic hope of getting out of the bottom 4 at the first attempt. Been trying to stave off people asking me on other podcasts and things recently, are the Shots going to hit the bottom 4, are they going to go down? I keep showing the faith and the promise that they won't, but Steve, if you've got another minute, just looking at the long-term situation, nobody's kidding themselves, and I think Hugo Langton saying in the pre-match for this one, we know where we're at, stand, we face us, and we're all set and ready for it. I don't think they're too far off in any of the games, are they? But whether it's how clinical they are or whether it's their mentality, they need to get themselves ahead in games, and they need to hold on.
Absolutely, yeah. It's such an obvious thing to say that I hesitate to say it, but the first goal in any game at any level is crucial. And you look at those fixtures that we've mentioned playing Saturday, Tuesday up until the 1st of April and probably beyond, they're all against teams currently in the top 10 or in the bottom 7. And that's where there's no easy games. And yes, if you looked at the table earlier this week, I think there was only two teams in mid-table where you thought, well, they're not going to challenge for the playoffs, but they're not in danger of going down. Every team has games that matter, but particularly Aldershot Town, they need to pick up some points, maybe against the odds, maybe against teams that are in a poor run of form like Hartlepool, but you also need to pick up those points against teams in that mini-league around you. Dagenham and Redbridge are here next Tuesday. Then you've got
a week on Tuesday.
Then you've got Maidenhead, Ebbsfleet, Wealdstone, all 3 games in a row in 1 week. Then Rochdale away, and then Fylde on the 1st of April. You hope that by then, Aldershot Town, who are the April Fools, but they need, this afternoon and in other games, they need a plan B. Yes, they're not getting blown away. If they were conceding 4 or 5 each game, even 3, you might think, okay, some games you just write off. But on Tuesday at Southend, if they show more ambition, a bit more cohesion before they went 2-0 down, they might have got something.
Absolutely. So
yeah, they need to start picking up points, and in all games, particularly here at home and particularly against those teams that are fighting for their own survival. They're not 6-pointers, but they should be the games that you are targeting 4 points.
Absolutely, that's Steve Gibbs. It's a few seconds away, 4 o'clock. We'll just switch our microphones off for whatever's left of half-time, listeners, 3 or 4 minutes, I'm sure. And we'll be back with you for the second half, and we'll see if the Shots can make it a happy return for the Strays. But at half-time, they trail by a goal to 0. So out come Aldershot for the second half. Very delighted looking Jeff Stelling in the director's box away to our left. Somewhat ironically, I think, suggesting what a great tackle it was from Tyler Frost. Well, he timed it brilliantly, of course, and was very unlucky that his toe poke, which I'm sure was intended to go behind for a corner, ended up in the corner of the goal. Okay, both teams then out for the second half. No evidence of any half-time substitutions. So, for the benefit of our online listeners who've listened to this commentary for years, the Shots are kicking right to left towards the East Bank in the second half. And of course, those watching on NLTV will appreciate that anyway and recognise that from that side, Aldershot are kicking from left to right. Aldershot have the kick-off. Josh Barrett to take it, and Steve beside me. They'll want to get themselves back on level terms sooner rather than later. The next goal, as ever, so important in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Aldershot Town, they need to find another way to score, because at the moment it's been a little bit too comfortable. And not comfortable, it's due to Hartlepool's organisation, hard work, their tenacity and their skill. But Aldershot Town need to find another way to ask questions of this defence and the midfield and the attack that have all done their damnedest, done the dirty work, done their due diligence on shutting down Aldershot Town.
Lovely flick round the corner from Adam Campbell, then a heavy touch by Miley. Shots get a foot in. Hartlepool come away with it. Aaron Jones does really well out on the right hand side, but a good recovery from the Hartlepool player. Cleary's picked it up. Medine pokes it back to him, and then a little back flick, and well, I wondered if Jenkins had caught Medine there, but clearly he didn't. The referee was well placed. His Frost down the left side. Waterfall will put it into touch for a throw. It's taken quickly. Ryan Jones sends it in, and Aldershot have been given a free kick, and that has to be a yellow card for Luke Waterfall, Steve, and it is going to be. And the referee now applying some consistency, because as cynical as a player's running by you, exactly what Hargreaves did, and the referee, well done, Ross Martin, just being consistent with his own decisions, and that's all anybody, supporters of either side, ever ask, isn't it?
Yeah, and absolutely right. Ryan Jones was about to get the better of Luke Waterfall, and they were scrapping, fighting, pulling at each other to try to get the ascendancy and win the ball back, but certainly that was a foul from Waterfall.
Right, Ryan Jones, Josh Barrett's over there. The ball's around about 10 yards in from the goal line, 10 yards in, maybe 8 from the touch line. Aldershot get on the end of this set piece. Ryan Jones sends it in left-footed. It's flicked on, I think, off the head of an Aldershot player, but the ball will be picked up by Hartlepool now, driven down the left. And Ollie Scott's going to have to position himself well here, and he does. He gets there first. He beats Cleary in the duel and heads it into touch. 2.5 minutes gone already in the second half. Let's just run through our lineups for you. Shots with a similar formation but slight change in personnel. Dewhurst in goal. Jenkins in the centre of defence with Ollie Scott one side of him and Armitage the other. And then Tyler Frost on the left side of midfield. Hargreaves and Luca Woodhouse in the centre with Aaron Jones on the right, and then Ryan Jones supporting Barham in attack. The ball's in touch over on the far side, but I think Hartlepool have been given a free kick on the touchline. They have indeed, just 8 yards or so into the Aldershot Town half. They clip it forward down the left where Cleary's going to pick it up unopposed. He's up against Aaron Jones, he's inside the penalty area. He manages to block the cross, Aaron Jones, but it's come back out to Cleary, and then he's had a poor shot. Aldershot clear it forward. Barham holding the ball, but it's just nicked off him, and then Hartlepool will chase the ball down the left hand side through Luke Charman. Sends a ball in. Jenkins plays it off of Campbell into the path of the house. Cleared forward, headed back in by Miley, volleyed away by Ryan Jones, and unfortunately the one time you really want Jack Barham up on the last line, he's a little bit behind the play. It's hooked out to the left and into touch by Adam Smith. How's your luck? We talk week in, week out about how Jack Barham's on the shoulder of the last defender, and had he been there, he could have got on to Ryan Jones' forward ball. Symptomatic of another little bit of fortune that's just not going Shot's way at the moment.
I don't think he was expecting that pass, because I think it was Ryan Jones who hooked it forward, I think, and he took it off the toe of Luca Woodhouse, who was trying to bring it down and play a different pass.
Wealdstone have equalised against Ebbsfleet. Harrison Sona right at the end, I think, of the first half. I don't know why that one's come through so late. Maybe they had a late kick-off there, but it's in the battle between the side and bottom. And Oldham have equalised at Dagenham and Redbridge, who've taken the lead at home so many times this season but not gone on to win. Here's a ball up to Barrett. He can't control it. Parks manoeuvred in there, and Waterfall, who's on a yellow now, and he's no stranger to a red, is he?
He's not, no. I think he still has only been sent off twice this season, but they were very early in the in the campaign.
Yeah, I think the second one was on the day that he returned from suspension, if I remember right. I remember that once happening to Josh Gallagher here. Jake Gallagher.
Unfortunately,
came back, got sent off on his first game back, and then served another suspension and got sent off in his second game back. Unbelievable. Ball from Frost inside is picked off by Campbell, and Hartlepool come forward. Frost and Woodhouse combine, but they can't beat Sharman. Sharman plays the ball to Medine, claims of offside, not given, ball rolled into Cleary, and it's a wonderful point blank stop from Marcus Dewhurst on a par with Adam Smith in the opening seconds of the first half. Marcus Dewhurst keeping the shots in this game, staying in the game is what they have to do right now, and Cleary on loan from West Bromwich Albion will be ruining not being able to find the finish here. He's got the ball again now on the left hand side of the penalty, it squares it in, it's cut out by Luke Jenkins. And Steve, the shots survive, but they can ill afford to concede a second goal today. They've already got a steep hill to climb, they don't need a mountain. No,
that should have been the game. That could so easily have been game, set, match, 3 points back up to the northeast. But for Marcus Dewhurst, I think it would. Cleary, no one near him. Aaron Jones had been pulled out of position. All he had to do was stroke the ball into the net, and then as I'm talking, he has another shot that's blocked by Armitage. Aldershot Town defensively, yes, they need to commit bodies forward and start creating chances, but defensively, Hartlepool are on top there as well.
Here's Armitage. You just sense a little bit of growing frustration amongst some of the audibles coming from around us in the north stand. Frustration heaped upon frustration at the situation at the moment. The Shots, who had sustained good form at the start of the year in all competitions, they went 10 games unbeaten, 5 of those, 6 of those in the league, 4 in the cup. They progressed with all cup wins, 1 win in the league, a terrific win at Oldham, and some pretty good draws where they were on the verge of wins, but now it's defeat. Eastleigh last Saturday defeat at South Week. 2 very tight games. They were just shaded out of it, and they're being shaded out of this one today by Hartlepool as more players go for warm-ups. A couple of Hartlepool players. Max Mullins looking to slip his shin pads in. Could be evident that he may be one of the first substitutions for the Shots today, or he might be just getting himself organised. Handball, I believe, by Gary Medine. Jenkins takes this one early out to the left to Frost, who heads it on and finds touch. And despite the efforts of Tyler Frost all afternoon, it's not been his day, Stephen. It's not been too many of the Shots players' day, is it? It's not quite as cohesive as it could be. The pitch isn't helping, but the pitch is the same for both sides.
Absolutely, yeah, it's the same for both sides. And you said they're just being shaded on this one. Yes, it's a tight scoreline. 1 goal will get the Shots back into this, but in pretty much every position, every part of the pitch, they have been second best.
There's Scott trying to play the ball forward, but it's blocked. He now plays it back to Dewhurst, who's got Medine shutting him down. Dewhurst kicks out to the right side under pressure. It's taken beautifully by Aaron Jones, who plays a nice pass into the path of Luca Woodhouse, and he feeds Barrett. Barrett on the edge of the final third now, checks back onto his right foot, sends in a, and it's over and behind the goal away to our left, and it won't do much to quieten the frustration around us. Everybody here in red and blue just wants that moment. They want that moment for their team, for the players, for the management, for the supporters who've travelled so far today. Some of them, of course, 50 or so, travelling over 41,000 miles between them. Stray shots that don't live in the area anymore, or maybe never did, but support Aldershot Town for some other reason. The shots trail, but there's still time for them to get back into this. Armitage pokes the ball into the path of Jones, who pokes it into the path of Parham. He's into the area, tries the ball in. Is that handball? Referee's not given anything, and he's given a corner. He's not given the handball. Steve, what was your view of that one? It looked like a handball to me.
Handball. Defender sliding, arm up to control himself. You may be saying not an unnatural position, but away from the body. For me, that should be a penalty.
Not given. Corner to the shots. Ryan Jones is going to take more hard luck for the shots, but they don't want to be talking about hard luck. They want to be talking about good moments. This one's headed away up towards Campbell. Aldershot onto the loose ball. Aaron Jones has got it. He go back to Cameron Hargreaves. Ryan Jones still wants it out on the right. Lovely ball up to Barrett on the left, but he's offside, and it remains 1-0 to Hartlepool. And those of you watching on NLTV may have got a replay. You may have seen it more clearly than we could. We get one look at it from the other side of the pitch, but Steve Gibbs and myself both feeling in the moment that the ball inside the penalty area, hand to ball, and should have been a penalty for the shots, but nothing given.
Yeah, I think it wasn't deliberate and was raised by the slide, and I haven't been able to identify him, apologies, but certainly he should be a penalty. It wasn't that the arm was down by the defender's side and it inadvertently hit him part on the midriff, part on the arm. This was clear against the arm. And as we're talking, Maxi Mullins has come on, looks to be playing second striker alongside Jack Barham.
For Ryan Jones.
Unfortunately, It's Ryan Jones who come off, and he did not look entirely pleased. And also a change for Hartlepool. Number 3, David Ferguson has replaced Jack Robinson, so a straight swap at left back for Hartlepool. And also
Joe Gray, isn't it?
Joe Gray, Cleary. I think that will probably, that'll be a straight swap in left midfield as well. Gray prefers to play centrally, but usually plays out, and that will be a straight swap.
Here come Hartlepool forward, and momentary Ollie Scott stumbles. That's enough for Sharman to get the ball. Scott pokes it into touch off of him. Brilliant work from Ollie Scott. You were correct in the week when you guessed at goal number 13 for Gus Scott Morris. I thought it was 12. It was 13. He's now got 14.
Of course he has.
Tamworth 1, Southend 1, Gus Scott Morris. Boston trailing at home to Eastleigh at half time. I've made 4 changes at half time. Don't see that one very often. And Sutton have taken the lead against Braintree, but before I could tell you, Braintree have levelled. Here at the EBB, the shots at the moment have another hard luck story on their hands. Massive chance to take the lead 10 seconds in. Further opportunities not taken. Hartlepool, to be fair, good value for their leads, and they've had the ball in the net a couple of times as well from disallowed efforts. And then, crucially for me, on 55 minutes, Steve Gibbs and myself think Hartlepool handball inside the penalty area, ball to hand, but not given by the referee, who I thought was only 10-12 yards away. We have to give him the benefit of the shot's not able to be rewarded there, either from a penalty decision or from a corner, and so still they trail. As we approach the hour mark, we're 1 minute and 20 seconds away from that now. Max Mullins, some very, very clear handball given against Hartlepool. Some really strong, what would you call it? It's one individual,
it's one
in
person,
particular.
questioning why Maxwell Mullins is playing up front.
It's not easy. He's playing in the.
He is playing up front.
He is up front now. He's got the ball. He's come on and scored a few times. How about that as an answer? Here's Josh Barrett on the ball on the edge of the penalty area. He's going further in, sends it in. It's parried, followed up, and in. And Aldershot Town are level. And it might just be Max Mullins who's got the goal. I do think that Harley off the line, and it cannoned back off somebody and went into the net. And how better can you respond to the criticism of why you brought a certain player on and played him up front than with a goal? Well done, Max Mullins. He's taken the plaudits anyway, Steve. And again, listeners and viewers, we do not have live pictures. We do not have the benefit of a replay. And in the absence of all that, we're giving the goal to Max Mullins.
Yeah.
What I'm certain of, Steve, and I'm sure you'll back it up as Hartlepool attack at the other end and Dewhurst will get hands on it, that it was an attempt to clear the ball off the line that struck somebody and came the net.
Yeah, there was absolute chaos in the 6-yard box. Hartlepool desperately trying to clear it. It definitely hit somebody. I wasn't sure if it was Barrett or Mullins, but yeah, the Tannoy has given it. Craig has given it to Maxwell Mullins.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter who
The
scored.
abuse
All
that's
shots
coming
count.
from the far side has just been answered in exactly the way Tommy Widrington and his players would want to. That's why we bring Max Mullins on, because he creates a bit of havoc. Here's Joe Gray though going through the area. He's got Armitage there. Luke Jenkins arrives back. The shots with bodies where they need to be. And here's Barrett onto a loose ball, knocked down from Barham. The ball clipped out to the left side. Now the on the up. Barham's got it. Skips to the right of the area. He's going to try a shot from distance. That's blocked. Adrenaline pumping through the veins of the Shots players as Aaron Jones picks up the ball now on the right side of the area. Luca Woodhouse plays it to Hargreaves. The Shots back in it. The fans back on side. Here's Frost receiving the ball from Luca Woodhouse inside the penalty area. Plays it back to Barrett. Clipped effort over the bodies, but easy enough for Smith to get onto. But the Shots are back, Steve. They're back level and showing determination, not just to pick up the 1.2. Now they won all three.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Maxi Mullins knew about the goal, but it's definitely lifted everybody. It's lifted the team and the fans, and finally given Hartlepool something to think about. Josh Barrett there, impudent, no backlift. Smith would not have been expecting that, but it wasn't quite into the top corner. It wasn't quite of the Woking standard that Josh Barrett can pull out of his locker. Still a decent effort. Smith though making a comfortable save.
As Jack Barrett on halfway, and in the interests of balance, because it can only report on what I see, whether it's on or off the pitch, the fan that was abusing that substitution decision, a lot of fans, other fans have given it back to him. Here's Barrett picking up the ball on the edge of the area. He's into the penalty area, goes down. No strong appeals for a penalty, and Hartlepool look to counter, and they're looking to hit Aldershot on the transition. Ollie Scott working back, can't win it, but he slows down Sharman. Sharman then breaks inside. Hargreaves positions himself well, wins the ball, is fouled by Sharman, and when Sharman gets up, he's going to be greeted by something, either a word from the referee or a yellow card. In fact, the referee on this occasion, I think, just going to give the free kick, and Hartlepool are going to make another substitution, and it is the man who scored in the 97th minute last week for them, the old stager, and a quality player he is too. One of their oldest players coming on for one of the youngest, Steve. Nicky Featherstone.
Yeah, wily old campaigner, solid, experienced, quality on the ball from Nicky Featherstone. And then Miley, he's the future of this team. Released by Newcastle, already showing the quality that he's got on the ball, but yeah, I think maybe Hartlepool need a wily old head, experienced campaigner in the trenches at the moment. Can't get better than that in Nicky Featherstone.
We don't talk much about live league tables, but all I'm going to say is, as the scoreline stood, it was not looking good at all today for the Shots. They're back now level with a point in their clutches at the moment, and 25 minutes left. Attacking the East Bank end with momentum. Can they go on and turn this one around? There's a lovely ball from Luke Jenkins, not Duke Lenkins, to Frost. Plays it inside to Woodhouse. He turns beautifully and strokes the ball into the path of Hargreaves. Hargreaves out wide now to the right to Aaron Jones. He cuts in, plays it back to Hargreaves. Hargreaves to Woodhouse. The Shots looking to build on the little bit of momentum they've got now. Woodhouse out to Frost. He can go one-on-one against his man to the edge of the penalty area. Finds Woodhouse. Woodhouse tries to measure a return pass and can't. Hartlepool clear, and they clear the ball up to Gary Medine. How much longer is he going to be left on? Because for sure, at some point, Hartlepool are going to bring on the man who terrorised Aldershot up at Victoria Park, scored both goals, and is, of course, top scorer Manny Diasarufe. Sure, he's going to come on at some point. 5 or 10 minutes, I'm sure. But here's Luke Jenkins coming over halfway, playing the ball out to the left, which Tyler Frost will try to get to. He'll just be beaten to it by the Hartlepool number 14, Nathan Sherron, playing as a right back today in the back four. The ball's disappeared, so they go and pick out another one. Gateshead have doubled their lead at Solihull Moors. They're 2-0 up. Braintree have equalised at Sutton through John Akindi, and the Shots, who've got level, are now on the attack with Frost. Sends the ball out to the left to Ollie Scott, sends the ball in. Oh, terrific header behind for a corner at the far post. Brilliant bit of defending, bodies on the line for Hartlepool, and I want to give it to the player concerned, and I will do when he turns his back and shows me his shirt number. It is the number 3 who's just come on, David Ferguson. Lovely ball in, Steve, and terrific defending.
It was, yeah. There was bodies flying at the far post and the near post. Brilliant delivery.
Corner taken short to Hargreaves on the edge of the box. Shot comes in. He scored. Back-to-back goals in back games for Cameron Hargreaves. His season at the East Bank. And the shots have come from behind here. 2 goals in the space of 12 minutes. If you don't shoot, you don't score. Cameron Hargreaves let fly with his left foot, and the keeper didn't see it. It flew low underneath him. And it is Aldershot Town 2, Hartlepool United 1.
What a shot from Cameron Hargreaves. As you could see, he was winding up to take a shot. You're thinking, don't shoot from there. Play it into the box. Play percentages. What do I know? Brilliant shot from Cameron Hargreaves. Low, grass-cutting shot. Beat Smith at his near post. Snuck, squeezed. Found the tightest of gaps at that near post. Smite Smith's dive to his left. Ball nestled in the East Bank goal. Cameron Hargreaves set off to celebrate. As you say, 2 in 2. From nowhere. From looking like they were dead and buried, Aldershot Town have turned it around.
Now they've got 22 and a half minutes, half of the second half, to build on that lead or hold on to it. Cameron Hargreaves, last week given the Aldershot Town man of the match in the defeat at Eastleigh by James Rowe. Pretty sure I'm right in saying that on Tuesday night in defeat at Southend, when he scored, he was given man of the match by Steve Gibbs. And he's done very little to suggest that he's not in the running today as well.
Absolutely, he's always in the running. That's what he gives, Mr. Consistent. Mr. 7, 8 out of 10 every single week. And now if he can start adding a few goals to his game, maybe he'll be a guaranteed 8 out of 10 every week.
Yeah.
Action on the Hartlepool bench. They're going to be bringing somebody on very soon, and if it's not Manny Di Saruve, can't see at the moment, it is.
It has to be, doesn't it?
Di Saruve. Of course it is. He's only scored 1 goal in his last 10, but you can't keep a good man down. He's going to give something a
torrid time
that Campbell, who has departed, was not able to give. He's a physical unit. He's a goal scorer. He will put around, do what it needs to do to get them back into this, and the Aldershot Town defence will know they've been in a game against Manny Di Saruve.
Here's a ball which Jenkins has to deal with and send into touch. It just didn't come up enough on the second bounce to head it back to Dewhurst. Correct decision, Luke Jenkins. Throw into Hartlepool. Now they'll want to just get a bit of momentum with the introduction of Di Saruve. A totally different puzzle to Adam Campbell. They extreme, could they? Here's a ball in, taken down and well positioned, and good strength from Will Armitage. He's got Woodhouse striding ahead of him, who wants the ball played into his path. Armitage keeps it. Now he plays it up towards Barham, who flicks it on. That's a big ask for Woodhouse to get after that, and it does bounce, go through to Adam Smith in the Hartlepool goal.
Yeah, Josh Barrett was in acres of space on this in the left channel, screaming for the ball. That first time diagonal. that was the best option rather than kind of sticking. He should have twisted rather than sticking.
Here's Mullins doing well to keep the ball in play. Now he's chasing his own pass. I think that will have enough momentum on it just to drift behind the goal. Official attendance this afternoon. Time of year, given the current form, given the league position, is very healthy. 2,203. And Hartlepool United, very, very creditable, 132 supporters here as well. They've got quite a few on the slab terracing now. I think they must have arrived late because they weren't there in the first half. And ironic that they've now appeared on the terracing when Hartlepool are going the end, so they must have arrived late, some of them. 71 minutes, they're looking to get a cross in here. It's been blocked by Tyler Frost, and it'll be a corner to Hartlepool. The very nature of Aldershot, something they haven't had for a while, a precious lead, and Hartlepool, whatever the game plan is, they're 2-1 down. They brought Diasaruwe on, and they need to put the toe to the gas, don't they? Shots are going to bring on Christian Maghomer as well.
Maybe as an answer to the added aerial threat.
Yeah, in comes the corner from the left to the far post. Hartlepool player goes down. Referee's not giving anything there. It's Diasaruwe. And Medine, who's still on the pitch, who we thought might have been in different circumstances the one replaced by Diasaruwe, but they're a goal down now. Oh, that's great work. Great work defensively from Max Mullins. Hair tied back today, which is partly why I struggled to recognise who it was. Just making himself strong defensively, eventually winning it, then protecting the ball, then being fouled. 72 minutes gone. Be a happy return of the strays for all those who've come a long way. Will Armitage is now coming off, and the management team electing to bring on Christian Maghomer now to with of Diasaruwe. His game is done. Put his heart and soul on the line for the shots this afternoon, and there are 17 and a half minutes left, and initially Diasaruwe is coming on to mark. Well, he's closer to Medine. Diasaruwe now he drifts onto. I think Jenkins probably on Medine and Maghomer on Diasaruwe. 2-1 shots, 2 goals in 12 minutes. Mullins being credited with the first. Ooh, Maghomer jumps and doesn't get anywhere near that one, but he's left something on Medine, who's hurt an arm or something. Aldershot have got the ball on halfway. Hargreaves gives it back to Aaron Jones. Neither player gets a flick on. Then Barham does get a flick on. There's a poor back header, but it'll just be enough to get to Adam Smith. And Medine's in some discomfort here. I know Maghomer missed the ball and he caught Medine. I don't think it ended, but there's great tracking back from Tyler Frost. And Aldershot had it forward, and then Frost gets there again. And Tyler Frost has shown things might not be going your way, and you may have given Hartlepool the lead inadvertently, but the one thing you don't do is stop applying yourself. And he's given huge efforts this afternoon. Doesn't always go your way, but you keep battling on. Well done, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, could easily have got into a shell, but no. Tyler's style.
Here's Hargreaves brilliantly reading what Diasaruwe was going to do. Up the right side. Hartlepool win it back though and play it out to the left hand side to Ferguson. Ferguson into the feet of another Pooley, and Hartlepool have got it. They're playing 1-2s in and around the centre circle. There's good strength from Diasaruwe, turns, plays the ball forward, but quickly onto it is Ollie Scott, who's read the game superbly today. And here's Jenkins clipping the ball forward. Barham jumps and gets a flick on, but he's offside. It's come from an offside position. And I don't know if it looked at half time or even in the first 10 minutes or so of the second half like this kind of scenario was on, but it is on now, and the shots have come from behind thanks to we believe Mullins and definitely thanks to Hargreaves. 2-1 shots. Frost plays it forward down the left side and it'll stay in. and Mullins will have the opportunity to put Waterfall under a bit of pressure. He tries to clear it into touch off of Mullins, but Mullins keeps out of the way. The shot's with an attacking throw, and Will Armitage just now taking his place on the bench after a quick warm down, and he's having repeated conversations the goalkeeping coach and with Hugo Langton, and maybe they're explaining their thinking why he's come off. I think they're entitled to make whatever decision they want, including on bringing on Mullins 2 minutes before he scores a goal.
Here's much about it, but yeah, it's better to be lucky than good.
Just to be clear about this, listeners, we mentioned it once in the first half, we'll mention it once in the second half. It doesn't appear that Tommy Reedon's here today. We hope it's not health related. If it is, we wish Tommy all the best, and hopefully he's able to listen on and be enjoying the fact that his shots have come from behind to lead 2-1 here. More importantly, can they keep all 3 points in North East Hampshire? Again, tenacious play from Ollie Scott to get the ball, to protect the ball, and then to be fouled. Free kick to the shots, and they need to show a bit of game management. They don't need to do everything at tempo now, Steve, do they?
No, absolutely not, and that was excellent play from Ollie Scott, just putting his body on the line. Clearly he wasn't going to win that physical challenge, but he just put his body in between the defender and the ball, won the free kick, and it was Nathan Sheeran, who's experienced, combative, strong midfielder. But yeah, Ollie Scott just used his head.
Barrett with the ball into the middle, flicked inside, headed away by Diasaruwe, is back there, and then helped on by Parks. And Jenkins goes into the duel with the 27, the substitute Sam Folerin, who's beaten Ollie Scott. Now he's 1-on-1 on the right side up against Jenkins, cuts inside, plays the ball to the man who's free on the far side. Shot comes in, and I think it was flying towards the top of the goal. A wonderful point blank save from Marcus Dewhurst, whose save earlier in the second half, and that one is keeping the shots not just in the game but ahead. Steve Gibbs, very quickly.
Yeah, fantastic save, flying save, well struck, heading for the top corner. Brilliant save again from Marcus Dewhurst.
Was it Sharman? I'm not too sure who had
the shot. Not sure, I think it's the player who's standing in the goal mouth, pretty much on Marcus Dewhurst's tiptoes, really.
Yeah, we'll give his identity in a bit, but in comes the corner, and that's headed away by Ollie Scott. And then Cameron Hargreaves competed 50-50 with Featherstone, and he's won it. He's away. It's 3 against 2 for the shots. Barham in space. Hargreaves still running forward. Now he slips it into Barham. First touch isn't great, but the shot is well parried by Adam Smith. Still got the ball inside the area. Barham twisting, turning. The ball out now to Aaron Jones. Plays the ball back into Hargreaves. He shoots again. Deflection on it behind for a corner. It for so long, he must have been so sorely tempted to have a shot, but he did the right thing. He found Barham, his first touch, just had to pull it away from goal. Good save from Adam Smith. Both goalkeepers making sure that their sides still have possibilities in this afternoon's game. 78.5 minutes gone. 2-1 shot, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, counter-attack. Shots up the other end. As you said, Cameron Hargreaves, I think, trying to draw the defenders to him that would have allowed more space for Barrett or Barham. In the end, he forced Barham a little bit wide, and I think they're the chance, but Jack still got a shot on.
Volleyed shot, rebound, claims for handball, nothing given. Still on the edge of the area. Shot comes in from Luca Woodhouse, that's blocked. He'll get on first, and he's brought down. His nothing, and Hartlepool now come away with the ball. Now they can have 3-on-2. And they're coming down the right hand side. Jenkins goes to ground, ball in, Disaruwe scores! Hartlepool level in the 80th minute, and we've got it all here again. Another 4-goal game at the EBB. Hartlepool with a goal on the transition, and it was the substitute Sam Folerin who did all the good work. Jenkins lunged in, couldn't stop the cross. Diasaruwe was there. Diasaruwe scores against the shots again, and with just over 10 minutes left, it's shots 2, pools 2.
Some things are certain in life. Death, taxes. Manny Diasaruwe will score against Aldershot Town. A little bit of controversy, and you can hear the boos from the fans around us, they felt that Aldershot Town should have had a free kick, maybe should have had a penalty. Then Hartlepool, lightning quick counter-attack down the other end, following showing his pace, outstripping Luke Jenkins. Behind the first attacker, but then there's Disaruwe at the far post, just lashes it into the roof of the net.
Here's another ball down the right hand side for Hartlepool. Scott gets there first, and ironically on the day that it wasn't forecast, we've now got heavy rain. I don't think it'd be enough to make this pitch unplayable in 9.5 minutes, but it might have its bearing on Tuesday night's home game against Wealdstone. We hope it's not too much and not too damaging to the pitch. Steve, there's been no more bobbles today than there's been in the last two matches that I've watched Aldershot play out away from home.
No, the pitch has held up really well. Unfortunately, what we said we don't want to see at the start of the game has happened. Luke Jenkins is down, needing treatment, attention on some sort of injury, not immediately obvious, and we hope that it's just a knock and he's able to continue. The game has stopped. He does need some treatment. But yeah, still 9 minutes left, plus probably a hefty amount of stoppage time. As you would say, all three results still entirely possible, includes a home win. Aldershot Town have shown the character, they've shown the cojones that they can come from behind. They might say they had the game won once, now they've got to go and win it again. Luke Jenkins is back on his feet, looking not sure whether he's taking up his position in the defence or having to come off. He's walking slowly, shaking his head, but there doesn't seem to be any immediate action on the Shots defence, but Jenkins is shaking his head, looking, his body language suggests that his afternoon is over. And he looks to the rainy heavens.
He's had hamstring problems all season, hasn't he?
He has.
I'm not a physio, but he's starting his first game for ages, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, he's still on the pitch 82 minutes in. It may be.
Yeah, Manny Madja looks like he's coming on, which is perhaps strange when you've got Dan Ellison immediately available on the bench. So there'll be some sort of tactical personnel. And indeed, Manny Meyer is on.
An all too rare appearance for the Shots for Manny Madja, a season ruined really by injuries, had a couple of loan spells as well. Hartlepool now with the momentum, Hartlepool now level in a game in which they led and went behind. Here's McHomer heading the ball away, it's lifted back in by Hartlepool. You've now got a game between two teams desperate for a win, level at 2-2 with 7 minutes left plus whatever's added. Strap yourselves in, I think, is probably what Tommy would say if he was in on it.
Yeah, I think it's who's going to blink first. Who wants the win desperately enough that they're going to risk losing it?
Come Hartlepool down the left with Diasaruwe. Stop the cross is the shout from Richard Dryden, and they have done. Oh, that's really blatant from Featherstone on Hargreaves, and he's shown a straight yellow. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Hargreaves quickly onto the ball, and he was about to roll Jones in to get away down the right hand side. What a finish we've got to this game. It's twisted and turned. Hartlepool took the lead. Shots with 2 goals in 12 minutes in the second half, and then a great counter, and the substitute Sam Following getting away down the right. 3 against 3, got his ball in. Diasaruwe knew where to be, finished with aplomb. 3rd goal of the season against Shots, his 12th in all competitions. Thank you very much. Ball forward now from the Shots is headed away by Waterfall up towards Diasaruwe. Both of them playing in that wonderful playoff final at Wembley a couple of years ago. They played their part. Both of them scored in that game, in that 5-4 game at Wrexham as well. They've been there, seen it, done it, and worn the shirt of Grimsby at the time. They're now wearing the shirt of Hartlepool. In comes a cross from the left, cut out by an Aldershot Town player. Aaron Jones going behind for a corner, and these are nervous moments now for the Shots fans and the Shots faithful, and for those 50 odd stray shots that have made their way back to the EBB today, for whom it looked like they were going to get nothing, then they're going to get everything, and now they might get a point. And can they hang on? 85 minutes gone. Corner in from Featherstone, headed by Luca Woodhouse. I thought under a bit of pressure. Aldershot claiming a foul, nothing given. Featherstone's going to send it in again. Diasarue gets the head on it and heads it wide. He arrived at the last minute. Wealdstone 3, Ebbsfleet 2. What a game that one is. Wealdstone finding a way with 20 odd minutes or so there. That kick-off delayed, I think. And Barnet 4-0 up at Rochdale at the other end of the table. Maidenhead are now 2-0 down at home. Mixed set of results elsewhere. But the Shots desperately want all 3 points and not just got at the moment. There's a kick from Dewhurst and he must have slipped. He's mishit it. He's found touch on halfway, throw in to Hartlepool. And Steve, let's just give my voice a rest.
Yeah, what the appeals were for when, as Hartlepool had a second consecutive corner, Nicky Featherstone seemed to step into the pitch to catch the ball early to allow him to take the corner kick quicker, and the Shots fans around us were appealing that free kick to Shots for handball. Not award it, but
Diasarue receiving the ball back to goal inside the penalty area, squares it out to the right hand side, where Sharon's going to have to do quite a bit of work just to keep it in. He does so. His passes, and then really good take from Jack Hunter, and then he's lost the ball. Barrett sends it inside to Frost. Can he get it forward to Mullins? Yes, he can. Mullins and Bar against Waterfall and Parks. Now Sharon's back in play, Featherstone's back in play, and a number of Hartlepool players are back in play, but Magna sends it out to the left hand side to Barrett. He's got an overlapping run from Frost. Frost is to the byline, looks to pull it back, that's cut out, and behind, corner to the Shots. Can they get and take a chance in these final moments? Can they do what Wealdstone have done and find a late fifth goal in a game with 4? They're 3-2 up. We'll worry about all the other scores on full time. At the minute, the Shots are in possession of a point. The floodlights are burning more brightly than the sun that's gone away down to our right. It's rain and overcast now, but in comes the corner from Barrett. Header is brilliantly saved. Wonderful, wonderful save by the keeper Smith from Maghomer, I believe, direct from the corner. And meanwhile, Hartlepool 2 are. Aaron Jones has got too many hands for me on Hartlepool player, but they hold it up. They keep it anyway, Fowler in. And now it's Hartlepool's turn to break. Huge headed chance for for Maghomer for Shots from the header, from the corner. But Hartlepool on the attack now on the left-hand side. Almost 88 minutes gone. Ferguson holds it up just outside the penalty area. Maghomer pokes it into touch. No time to even talk to Steve about that. We will do if we get a stoppage in play. But a big, big chance for Maghomer. Now an offside given against Hartlepool. Steve, less than 2 minutes of normal time left. Delivery perfectly from Maghomer, and another really good save from Adam Smith. The keepers have had their say this afternoon.
They have, absolutely. I was just going to say, we've seen some excellent examples of the goalkeeping arts this afternoon from, and there we were right behind that header from Maghomer. It looked to be drifting into the far corner, just about was going to evade Smith's clutches, but then no, he got a hand to it, and a good strong hand to it as well. Excellent save.
There's Aldershot winning a free kick. Luca Woodhouse fouled. He looks for the early ball out to the left. It's not quite on. Come on, Shots. 1 minute. I'm just repeating what they're saying in the East Bank, by the way. Come on, the Shots. Barham out to Barrett, and Barrett out to Frost. Will he go on his left again or on his right? He's on his right. That's a heavy touch. Gets a shot in, but all the power's taken off it, and it goes through to Adam Smith. It's 2-2. Either side could be in possession of the 3 points, but for the quality of the goalkeepers at either end. They've both made 2 or 3 really good saves. There's an important headed winner from Maghomer. If he didn't get it, then Diasarue would have been in. Sutton 1, Braintree 1, but Sutton have had a player sent off in the 88th minute. Here at the EBB, we're into the last 15 seconds of normal time. How much added will there be? inside to Diaz Aruwe, advances forward. He's going to get a shot away, it's squared, and then somehow it's cleared away by Tyler Frost as Folerin tried to poke it in. And Frost, given everything this afternoon, it's not been his day, but he continues to fight for the cause, and had he not been there and got a vital touch to put it behind, then Folerin, Hartlepool a late winner. 6 added minutes. Josh Barrett given the man of the match today officially by the ball sponsors, who are the stray shots today. We'll get Steve Gibbs man of the match in due course. Another corner though to Hartlepool. Into the first of 6 added minutes. Featherstone takes, it's headed away by Ollie Scott. Hargreaves can't quite get onto it. Sends it out to the left hand side, and he's one-on-one. Aaron Jones plays the ball up to Gray. Gray holds it up. Gray back to Featherstone, and they've still got the ball out on the left hand side, and there's a on the ball in, but they've got it inside the penalty area, and that's a poor and a heavy touch from Parks. Dewhurst has got it. He's going to kick long, straight down the middle. Can Barrett get onto it? No. But Tyler Frost, he runs onto the loose ball, sends it inside to Manny Madger, who can advance here if he wants to. He's more concerned with getting the pass right, but he gives it to Barrett, who can't control it. Featherstone receives the ball, goes back to Adam Smith. He kicks through the middle. That's not a great one. Hargreaves wins the header, but he can only head it to a Pool player, Featherstone, who heads it back to him, and now Barrett picks the ball up on the edge of the box onto his right foot. Can it on now, back onto his left, and then a heavy touch, and he can't get back onto it. Smith has, he looked to have done everything needed there, but then a heavy touch and couldn't get back on his left. Hartlepool with a counter-attack. Well-timed challenge from Luca Woodhouse, who's been superb defending and in midfield today. And Hartlepool have still got it. They're coming again on the edge of the final third. Joe Gray's got it. We've passed the 2 of the added 6. Ball squared into Folerin. Folerin drifts on it. There's a ball into the penalty area. Tries to get the ball back. Shot comes in. Oh, it's fumbled momentarily by Dewhurst, but he gets onto it. He bowls it out to Tyler Frost. Shots 2, Hartlepool 2. 3.5 minutes of added time left. Inside to Madger. He sends it out, a lovely ball to Aaron Jones on the right hand side. Jones clips it over to the left, where Frost will get it under control on the edge of the penalty area, and he plays it back to Manny Madger. Madger gives it back to Frost, who advances inside. He's got Folerin with him, squares it across to Christian Maghomer. We've got just over 3 added minutes left. Aaron Jones tries to get the ball in. That's blocked at source and cannons off the Hartlepool player into touch. Third goal for Gateshead at Solihull. Cannon with that. Cannons find a late winner here at the EBB. Frost up to Scott. Scott tries to get it in. It's blocked and cut out. Hartlepool clear. It's not pretty now. A lot of the players on their last legs. 3 or 4 players on each side with much fresher legs, trying to punish and penalise them. Shots with the ball. All the outfield players now in the Hartlepool half. Maghomer inside to Hargreaves. Hargreaves feeds Madger. Madger sends it out left hand side to Frost. Frost on the edge of the penalty area. Clips a ball in. Headed back across. Barrett in! And Josh Barrett scores in the 95th minute here at the EBB. One clip ball out to the right, headed back across. Barrett ghosted onto it and tapped it home from 3 yards. He couldn't miss. He didn't miss. And he scored his 13th goal of the season. And will it be a 13th goal, Lucky, for the shots? Will it be a happy return for the Strays? The slamming of a door behind me as Jeff Stelling leaves. Bereft at Hartlepool's ability to lose this potentially late on. I don't know who to give the credit to, Steve, for lifting the ball back across the goal. Perhaps you did. but it's shot 3, Hartlepool 2.
Yes, an excellent header back across goal. Superb cross from Tyler Frost. Despite scoring an own goal, that's otherwise been brilliant this afternoon. Everything you'd expect from Tyler Frost and more. And then Josh Barrett seemingly taking an age, almost teasing the Hartlepool goalkeeper, the Hartlepool defence. Am I going to tap this in or not? Oh, all right, I will. And then at the far post, almost from beyond the far post, he taps it in. Delirium on the East Bank, and that was his last touch of the game. Here's coming off. Dan Ellison is coming on.
How did they know?
Now lead.
How did the Stray Shot sponsoring the ball to give Josh Barrett man of the match? In truth, he'd been okay, hadn't he? He'd had a couple of decent efforts. He's always involved in Shot's best work. But after being named the man of the match, he's gone and scored what could be the winner. The 6 added minutes are almost up. Of course, another minute or 2 will be added. Ellison on for Barrett, but it could be the most sensational return of the Strays of all. Great drama here at the EBB. The other scores don't matter right now. Let's just see this one through. We are into the 97th minute. Flick on from Diasaruwe, helped on by Folerin. Sharon tries to send it in, but Cameron Hart there to block it. Throw into Hartlepool. And seconds now, there might be 100 or so of them, we'll have to see, but seconds for the shots to hang on. Sharon is going to send in a ball, that's headed away by Woodhouse, helped on by Hargreaves. Barham gets a touch, Mullins is onto it, Hartlepool players down, Mullins has still got it, squares it in, Barham chests it down, pokes it towards goal, cleared away by the goalkeeper. It's going to drift and bobble into touch, and there is the full time at the EBB, and the Strays have returned to 3 points. Man of the match, Josh Barrett scores the winner in the 95th minute. Tommy Widrington, your boys, I don't know who you are, but wherever you're watching or listening from, enjoy, embrace. 3 points for the Shots. Josh Barrett scores the winning goal. Stelling turns and disappears. And the Shots have done it. 3 precious points. League win of 2025. You fought around the EBB, and Steve, we've waited a long time for this feeling. It's heartbreak for Hartlepool. They'll say they were more than deserving of at least a point from this game, but they've not got it, and today it's the opposition with the hard luck story and the Shots with the euphoric feeling of scoring late on. Steve, just bear with me, I'm not sure where they're going on radio here. If you want to us, they'll probably go to Crawley first. Hold fire, listeners. Steve and I just catching our breath. A grandstand finish on a wonderful day. A day that will go down in history as when the Stray Shots returned, and they returned to full effect, and they gave what for a somewhat contentious man of the match to Josh Barrett, but he went and made himself the man of the match. And Steve Gibbs will hear his thoughts in just a moment. We're just waiting to hear which way they're going to go on the radio. Cam, do you know if they're going to Crawley or coming here? Okay, brilliant, thank you. We're going to update our radio listeners very shortly. Steve's final thoughts will be very considered ones by the time we come to him. Oh, you've ruined the ending. I was about to tell you at 90 plus 5, Adrian, it was 2-all. but the shots and the man of the match, Josh Barrett, has towed home the winner in that very minute, and what a return it's been. Strays, who sponsored the game, 50 of them, travelling more than 1,000 miles. And do you know what, Adrian? Before the 90 minutes were up, they gave Josh Barrett their man of the match. It might have been a bit contentious at the time, it wasn't by the end, because he went and got the winning goal, and the shots have got 3 precious points. They've come from behind. Hartlepool level to 2-2 again. Max Mullins on the score sheet, Cameron Hargreaves on the score sheet, and Josh Barrett taking all the plaudits once again with his 13th goal of the season. And it was lucky 13 this afternoon for the Shots, who in Tommy Widrington's absence have collected all 3 points and maybe just lifted themselves a little bit nearer to safety. We can only hope so, Adrian. It's been a long, difficult run, with the Oldham win aside, where perhaps performances have been slightly better than results. In truth, they didn't deserve anything at Eastleigh last Saturday. They probably did deserve a Southend on Tuesday and didn't get it. And today, the side that's probably going to be giving up the hard luck story is Hartlepool United, who were probably good enough for a point in this game, but they didn't get it. And for once, the hard luck stories from the opposition. This result's been coming time, and I'm so pleased for all those people who've jetted in from Saudi, from Ireland, from Tenerife, and who've made the journey from the other end of this country as well. And it's ended in heartbreak for Hartlepool, but it's warmed the cockles of all those watching on and listening in from afar today. Final score line here: Shots 3, Hartlepool 2. Finally, while I catch Steve, well, our online listeners who are probably dying to hear who your man of the match is, and I think this is a difficult one today, I really do. But give us your thoughts on the afternoon, the importance of those 3 points, and your man of the match.
Wow, what an afternoon. What a game. Somehow the Shots have found a way, and you cannot underestimate the importance, the value of those 3 points. Josh Barrett hasn't left the pitch yet. He's too busy celebrating. Him and Manny Madger were dancing in front of the East Bank like they'd just been promoted or won the cup. But that's the stature, that's the status of what this victory could mean for the Shots. It's only their 4th win in 16 games. Third win in 16 games. They need these 3 points. They need to kickstart their season, kickstart the home form. Because yes, you can talk about 9 games unbeaten all you want, but if you're dropping points at home to teams in and around you in that bottom third, I would say that's not much to shout about. That's points dropped rather than points won. Yes, staying unbeaten is important, but before the start of this game, both of these teams were in desperate need, not just a point, not just another game undefeated. They needed a win. Aldershot Town, that by hook or by crook, or by the brilliance of Josh Barrett from about a yard out, that it's the Shots who've taken the 3 points. And that's the sort of performance that Aldershot Town need to give more often. That indefatigable spirit, the refusal to be beaten that Tommy Widrington spoke about in his programme notes. It was almost like he foresaw the way the afternoon was going to pan out. The Aldershot Town needed to keep. The stray Shots travelled 41,000 miles just to be here. It feels like Aldershot Town's players had to make a similar Herculean journey to just claim the 3 points, and huge credit to them. And I'm sure all of those players are aware of the efforts that those fans have made this afternoon, and I don't want to speak for them, but that was for the Strays. That was undoubtedly for the Strays. The scenes on the East Bank, everybody's here every week. Yes, enjoy that, share in that. But that's for the fans that have made the effort, have gone above and beyond. because the team had to go above and beyond this afternoon as well.
Just quickly, Steve, finish off in a moment, but I'm just going to share it. This is a tough job to do when your team is struggling, when it's going through hard times, and it's really difficult sometimes to try and find the balance, to try and find the positives. I've been, well, never mind what I've been doing. Hugo Langton's coming up early, and
I think let's hear from him.
Just what we want. A nice quick word with Hugo Langton. While emotions are still running very, very high, we're going to probably just have to tweak them down a bit now.
I'm fine.
But
I'm calm, don't you worry about me.
and as calm as you've been after some of those unfortunate draws and defeats. But Hugo, Aldershot Town got all 3 points. They never gave up your side today. And it was one of those momentous ends. The worst thing in football to lose late on, and the best feeling to score late on. Most importantly, though, they got the 3 points and gave a performance of character.
Well, before we go any further, I'd like to thank the gentleman who sits behind our dugout.
Him as well,
When
yeah.
we brought Maxi Mullins on,
Yeah.
questioning Maxi.
Said it was clueless, didn't he?
Yeah, what you doing? And I was so happy that Maxi went and shoved it down his neck. So thank you to that gentleman, whoever you are.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably cut this out, the interview that goes out online. But I stood up and gave him the bird for you as well. Somewhat silently, because I couldn't say. That was awful. That's not support, is it?
No, but listen, one thing I've just said to the players, because at 2-1 up, we felt aggrieved about the second goal, because that's a free kick that wasn't given down there, and they've gone up. Yeah, okay, I understand we should do better as well, around our own box. But I've just said to the players, they deserve a lot of credit, because when you, in that moment there, it's very easy to feel that you've been kicked in the
Proverbials.
And let it hurt you, and we didn't, and we kept going and we go, and I was so pleased. For not just for the players, but the supporters and everybody who's backed us brilliantly this afternoon. That's for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Hugo, we haven't seen Tommy. Can you give us any news today?
Listen, Tom's fine. He was actually suspended today, so he's taken the opportunity just to recharge his batteries, which is a smart thing to do, bearing in mind, he's been through some trauma lately on his body. So he's been kicking and heading every ball in his front room and watching it.
I don't know.
That's also for you, Tom. If you're listening to this, that wins for you, mate.